Most people see a praying mantis as something calm, almost peaceful, an insect standing silently with its front legs folded like it's praying. But that image hides a disturbing contradiction, because behind that motionless posture is one of the most efficient ambush predators in nature. While your garden feels quiet and harmless to you, smaller creatures experience it very differently. To them, the praying mantis is not peaceful. It is a living trap. She waits, she watches, and when the moment comes, she strikes with terrifying precision. Entomologists who study mantises often describe them as highly specialized hunters capable of calculating distance and reacting faster than the human eye can fully process. And strangely enough, the less she moves, the more dangerous she becomes. So why would nature create a creature that looks almost spiritual only to turn her into a perfectly engineered killer? The praying mantis belongs to an ancient order of insects known as Mantodea, a group that has survived on Earth for millions of years. Today, scientists have identified more than 2,400 different species living across forests, grasslands, jungles, and even suburban gardens close to human homes. And despite their different colors and sizes, almost every mantis shares the same unsettling design. Triangular head, gigantic eyes, folded forelegs lined with sharp spines. Nothing about this creature was built for kindness. Everything about her was built for hunting. But here's where the contradiction becomes even stranger. Unlike aggressive predators that chase their prey through brute force, the praying mantis survives through patience. She does not roar, she does not sprint, she does not warn. She disappears into the leaves like a living piece of the environment itself. Entomologists often describe mantises as sit-and-wait predators, meaning they conserve energy by remaining almost perfectly motionless until the exact right moment arrives. And that stillness is not peaceful, it is calculated. Because in nature, silence can sometimes be more dangerous than violence. So what does the world truly look like through the eyes of a creature that survives not by speed, but by perfect timing? So, what truly makes the praying mantis one of the most effective hunters in the natural world? The answer is not raw strength, overwhelming speed, or brute aggression. It is patience. While many predators survive by chasing, overpowering, or exhausting their prey, the praying mantis survives through silence and precision. She slips so naturally into the environment around her that the line between hunter and landscape almost disappears. Resting among leaves, branches, flowers, or tall grass, her body becomes part of the scenery itself, transforming an ordinary garden into a carefully disguised hunting ground. To smaller insects, nothing appears dangerous. The air feels calm. The plants remain still. Everything seems safe, and that illusion is exactly what makes her so deadly. Because the moment an unsuspecting insect drifts too close, the mantis strikes with astonishing speed. Entomologists studying mantid behavior have found that their forelegs can launch forward in fractions of a second, locking prey inside rows of sharp spines before the victim fully understands what has happened. One quiet movement is all it takes. The chase never begins because the escape is already over. And perhaps what unsettles people most is the contrast between appearance and reality. With her folded forelegs and slow, deliberate movements, the praying mantis almost seems peaceful at first glance, as though she were some delicate guardian of the garden. Yet beneath that calm exterior exists a predator, designed with extraordinary efficiency, capable of consuming creatures nearly the same size as herself with chilling composure. But despite that ruthless ability, the mantis is not naturally violent in the way many people imagine. She does not kill for dominance. She does not attack recklessly. Most of her life is spent conserving energy, remaining hidden, and observing the world with remarkable focus. Scientists often describe mantises as highly visual predators because of their rare ability to perceive depth and track movement with exceptional accuracy, something uncommon among insects. And when one slowly turns its triangular head to follow your movement, maintaining eye contact in complete silence, it creates a strange feeling that is difficult to explain. For a brief moment, she no longer feels like a simple insect. She feels aware. So, What happens when a creature this precise enters the next stage of its life cycle? This is where nature becomes even more unsettling. After mating, the female praying mantis will sometimes consume the male, a behavior that has fascinated and disturbed humans for generations. To us, it appears cruel and almost monstrous. Yet biologists believe this behavior may increase the survival chances of future offspring by providing valuable nutrients during egg production, especially in environments where food is limited. Nature rarely values emotion over survival, and the mantis follows that law perfectly. Later, the female creates an ootheca, a hardened egg chamber formed from a foamy secretion that slowly seals into a protective vault, hidden beneath leaves, attached to branches, or tucked quietly against tree bark. This structure shields dozens, sometimes hundreds, of developing young from cold temperatures and predators throughout the winter. Inside that silent chamber, an entire generation waits unseen, motionless, fragile, alive. Then, when warmer seasons finally return, tiny mantises emerge already equipped with the instincts needed to hunt almost immediately after birth. There are no parents guiding them and no colony protecting them. From the very beginning, survival depends entirely on instinct, camouflage, and timing. And perhaps that is why the praying mantis has survived for millions of years. Her abilities are astonishingly refined. She can rotate her head nearly 180 degrees. She can detect movement with incredible precision. And her camouflage is so effective that both predators and prey often fail to notice her presence until it is far too late. Some species even imitate flowers with such accuracy that pollinating insects unknowingly land beside the very predator waiting to consume them. No roar announces the attack, no venom warns the victim, no sound disturbs the silence of the garden, only perfect timing hidden inside stillness. And yet, despite the fear these insects often inspire, praying mantises play an important role in the ecosystems surrounding human life. They feed on flies, moths, mosquitoes, beetles, and many agricultural pests capable of damaging crops and gardens, helping maintain a natural balance without chemicals or artificial intervention. For that reason, many farmers and gardeners view them not as monsters, but as quiet protectors living among the leaves. And maybe that is the most fascinating contradiction of all. The same creature capable of turning a peaceful garden into a silent hunting ground may also be helping preserve the delicate balance of the world around. So the next time you walk through a quiet garden, pass a row of bushes, or notice a strange shape resting motionless on a branch, you may want to stop for a moment and look a little closer. Because praying mantises are often far nearer to human life than most people realize. They prefer places filled with vegetation, warmth, and smaller insects to hunt, which is why they are commonly found in gardens, farms, parks, backyards, greenhouses, and even around outdoor lights at night where flying insects gather. But unlike noisy pests that announce their presence, mantises leave behind silence. Their existence is usually revealed through subtle signs: a sudden absence of flies around certain plants, a motionless green figure blending perfectly into the leaves, or sometimes a strange foam-like structure attached to a branch, fence, wall, or tree trunk. That structure is called an ootheca, the mantis egg case. At first glance, it may look like a dried clump of mud-hardened foam or a rough piece of bark stuck to the surface, but inside that sealed chamber, dozens or even hundreds of young mantises may be waiting for the right season to emerge. And this raises an important question. How can you tell whether an egg case is still active or already abandoned? A healthy ootheca is usually firm, sealed, and slightly lightweight, with no large cracks or holes across its surface. During colder months, it often remains completely still because the young inside are dormant, waiting for warmer temperatures. But if the casing appears broken open with dozens of thin split lines near the top, that usually means the young mantises have already hatched and left. An empty nursery, a silent archive of life that has already moved on. And perhaps that is the strangest part of all. While we move through our daily lives believing our gardens are peaceful and ordinary and tire in worlds of patience, camouflage, hunting, survival, and hidden intelligence are unfolding quietly around us every single day. So now I want to ask you something